What's up, gang? All right, so we had 15,984 was sold out. Gate was 2.2 million. It's the arena record for sports. The performance of the night went to Ming Yang and Malcolm. They won 50 grand each. And the fight of the night went to Brown and Dalby. What's up, buddy?
Let's start off with the main event. Interesting fight, right? Ian looked like he had it in the bag, and then suddenly, the last 2 rounds, Carlos came flying back. Curious your thoughts on the fight and why Pratis wasn't able to get the finish in the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this fight, you know, kid was on a 10-fight win streak, or 10-fight finish streak, I think, 11-fight win streak. He was 4-0 in the UFC. Looked good, you know. In the matchmaking room, we were talking about this could be a fun fight, and you know, credit to Ian, takes these fights on short notice. He'll fight anybody, and yeah, he looked good tonight.
Do you find that Ian's able to like get these guys to go into his pace, right, where he sort of slows the fight down, just lands from the outside? Do you think that's like one of his best attributes?
I don't know. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he definitely gets in there and controls everything. The pace, what he wants to do, when he wants to do it. Even against the guy, you know, the question was tonight, would Pratis go in there and put unbelievable pressure on him, stay in his face? Then we were wondering, you know, would Ian take him down and hold him down? You know, so those were all the questions we had too were answered. But this is one of those fights that, on paper, you know, the kid's 31 years old. He's got a great record, and it's not tonight like Ian went out there and, you know, did some, you know, if he did some MMA shit that this kid isn't ready for yet or whatever. It was a stand-up fight, and he controlled the pace. He controlled everything. He did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. But the great thing was in the last round, Pratis obviously was trying to finish the fight. So
Ian announced himself as the official backup for your welterweight title fight in Montreal. Is that official? Did he just announce that himself?
It's official. Oh. Yeah.
All right, cool. And then Anthony Smith obviously retired tonight. You guys rolled a brilliant package for him. Just give us your thoughts on his career and him as a fighter.
Who's that? Who'd you
Anthony Smith.
Yeah. What about it?
He's retired. Give us some thoughts.
Yeah. That's a tough way to go out, but yeah, he's a great guy. Obviously has an unbelievable story, and you know, I'm glad we ended up with him here. He's a good human being, and you know, obviously he has a career now with us, not fighting.
Yeah. We are still waiting for a main event for International Fight Week, and I'm sure you were willing and ready to break that for us now. Who is main eventing that?
Well, I just announced some fights yesterday, and that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, there's a couple you didn't announce that people were kind of hyped for. There's some rumors. There was rumors that it was going to be Khamzat DDP. Turns out that doesn't look like it's true. There's now rumors it's going to be Ilia versus Islam. Is that a potential?
Well, we all know that fight's happening. The Duplessis versus Khamzat fight. It's happening. It's just not happening in International Fight Week. That fight's done. Okay. Just not happening that.
And Ilia Islam?
What's that?
Ilia versus Islam?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays out.
The other big one is obviously John versus Tom Aspinall. This week was a funny one. Someone reported that the fight's done, it's got a date. Then the next day someone reported the fight's off, and then John's not taking it. Where do we stand with that fight? Everything
you hear is bullshit until we say it.
So that fight is still the target for both men?
I've said it many times that's the fight that we want to make this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, you said you were super confident. It's definitely going to happen. Are you still super confident?
Still super confident.
Cool. In your career, do you remember another fight that people are kind of bitching at you about as much as this one?
Yeah, there's been plenty, but I've said since day one, this will be the biggest heavyweight fight in the company of, in the history of the company and in the history of the sport. This will be a big one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Big couple weeks for the TKO group. Last week in Vegas, WrestleMania, biggest WrestleMania of all time. Then you took over Kansas City this week. Can you just talk about how that process has been and what a big weekend it was and is going to continue to be here in Kansas City?
Yeah, it's been good. And you know what's crazy about WrestleMania in Vegas? Anybody who lives in Vegas, you felt it. You felt it. We went to I think it was the same night. Yeah, it was the same night. It was Friday night or Saturday night. And the Bellagio, when I tell you that this place was packed, I mean, it was like Super Bowl. Every table, you couldn't get in near a table, and down the walkways were all packed. You felt WrestleMania in Vegas last week.
What did you make of the crowd reaction you got on the first night there at WrestleMania?
Yeah, everybody was cool. That was definitely my first WrestleMania. The only other wrestling WWE event I had been to before that was Ronda's first match.
Last one for me. Can you speak about one of the bigger performances of the weekend? Dana White's playmate got disqualified on Thursday. What does he need to do next time out so we can see a good performance?
Well, the guy who handles all my bulls is my partner, Dennis Davis, so I'll let him figure that out. But he was mean and nasty. That's why we got him. So, yeah, thank God that kid was all right. But, yeah, so I wrote a bull back in 2015, which is what got me into this. It's one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. But, you know, when they strap your hand in, you go like this to let them know that you're ready to go, and they open the gate. And I remember as we were getting in, and they're strapping my hand to the bull, and I'm thinking, now I have to set my mind to raise my hand, you know, to have them open this thing up. But the bull starts smashing your legs against the bars, so you can't pull your hand up fast enough. And I noticed at the PBR that they're all padded. All the bars are padded for that reason. When we did it, the bars weren't padded. But yeah, I mean, forget riding the bull, just getting on the bull inside inside that enclosure. I mean, that guy got knocked out. He was knocked unconscious. So that is a rough, nasty sport. Love it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Dana, back here. In a recent interview, you talked about the new meta rankings that'll come out later this year, and something that was interesting is you said that you'll have a media rankings and you'll have like the new AI rankings.
I said AI and human.
So my question is, for fights, production, matchmaking moving forward, will you guys lean on one ranking more than the other? Like for graphics, will the AI rankings be the ones that you guys focus on, or?
Listen, I'm not delusional and think that the AI thing is going to solve all the problems. That's why we'll have two sets of rankings. We'll have AI and human. So I don't know. We got to see how it goes.
Another question regarding the fights tonight. I was just curious to get your thought on Michel Pereira's performance. Obviously, he did a lot more before actually stepping into the octagon than he did.
Yeah, so you know how as soon as the round starts, they post some of the people's posts. There was a guy that said, that Pereira looked like he was stuck in the mud, and that is what he did look like tonight. He looked like he couldn't get off. He looked slow. He looked lethargic. He definitely wasn't himself. It wasn't, the Pereira we're used to seeing fight. But I don't know. Has he been through here yet? No. Yeah, you got to ask him. What happened tonight? But listen, you can't take the people were booing. I think that Kansas City got spoiled tonight. This card was so good, man. Every fight was incredible, mostly finishes. But that wasn't a bad fight. It wasn't. Believe me, I've seen some bad fights in my day. That wasn't one of them. I thought Abus looked great tonight.
Gotcha. My last question is: I know you said the Khamzat DDP fight is done. Any updates on when that will happen?
This year.
Thank you, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Dana, over here. Malcolm Wellmaker would like to get on the Atlanta card. He said he's 2 hours away from that card. Do you think he could get on there?
Who did? Who said that?
Malcolm.
Oh, yeah. What did he say? He wants to fight on that card?
Yes.
You know me, man. When guys want to fight constantly, I love that. Yeah.
And you recently got a person released from a Russian prison. Could you speak on what happened there? What your role in that?
So when we had the fight in Australia, in Sydney, I got a call from a friend of mine and asked if he could come by my hotel room and talked to me, and I said, of course. And he came by and told me the story, and then asked if I would go to the president, because I guess they had been working for like a year with the old administration trying to get it released and couldn't get it done. So they asked if I would talk to Trump. So I said, of course. So I called him, and he said, yeah, let me see what I can do. And literally in 3 weeks, he had her out. And it's crazy you asked me that question now, because nobody's even asked me about that. But she FaceTimed me like 2 days ago. What an incredible, sweet, positive human being she is. And yeah, President Trump and Putin, give them both credit for getting her out.
All right. Thank you for doing it as well.
Thank you. I didn't do anything but make a call. Thank you.
Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties when you said. So you confirmed that Ian Machado Garry is the backup from Montreal?
That Ian is.
Yeah. Yes.
Just curious, how much does his willingness to take short notice fights? Because he took short notice against Shavkat, then he takes short notice here against Carlos. How much does that play into your decision to make that happen for him?
Listen, there's been lots of guys and girls that have taken fights in short notice, but when you're that person, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And I know that you were talking about Michel Pereira. I was just curious if you could actually rate his pre-fight dance and what you thought of it. He came out to Kendrick Lamar. It's not like us. I'm just curious what you thought of his dance.
I didn't see him dancing. Was it on his walkout?
Yeah, he did it on a walkout.
I missed that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should go take a look at it and let us know.
I'm not a big dance fan, so I'm sure my opinion doesn't matter.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And it is the fight business.
Actually, just one more, Dana. At WrestleMania, did being there and seeing it and seeing the setup change your mind at all on UFC in a stadium show anytime soon?
No.
Okay.
No. Nothing will change my mind about a stadium show. I mean, you guys were here tonight. Kansas City is an awesome city. The people here are great. I really like this town. And the energy in that place was awesome all night. That's the energy you get in a, not that there wasn't listen, when you get, what they have, 63,000 people there, I mean, you're going to get some energy like they did. But I am not a fan of stadiums. I like arenas.
And last one, I believe Malcolm said earlier that if he got the bonus, he would quit his job. So you just got him out of his job.
Congratulations, I think. Yeah, good for him. Sorry to his employers, but good for him.
Hello, sir. Speaking of Russia, recently a special representative of President Putin for investment and economic cooperations with foreign country said that they are in talks with the UFC of bringing back events to Russia. Can you confirm or deny this?
They're bringing back, there's a special representative for President Putin that's talking about bringing UFC back to Russia. Can you confirm that there's talks about that?
Yeah, listen, we never stopped. Our fighters still fought, and those things all happened during all that shit that was going on. And yes, I mean, we're a global business. Yeah. We're a global business. Bad shit happens all the time, all around the world. And yes, we will run the business like we always have.
Looking forward to have you back, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Done with me? Thanks, Kansas City. Have a great night.